Hey, I'm back on here with another video. So I am reviewing again P-Valley Season 1, Episode 2, Scars. I want to shout out to P-Valley Updates. They retweeted me in my video, so I want to thank them so much for retweeting me. And like I said, been they're being very supportive for my little itty bitty small channel. They're helping me out, so shout out to them. So let's get into the episode. So this week's episode was directed by a woman named Kimberly Pierce. Now, actually, I would like to see if there's anything else that this woman has directed. Let's see. Kimberly Pierce. I don't know. It doesn't say too much for me. Sorry, but let's just get into it. So where we at? So we start off seeing Mississippi. She is you see like this white man or whatever, which we'll get to later. He's laid out on like the little cloud room that Uncle Clifford and a little murder had went in. So he's laid up, he's tied up. Clearly it's some dominatrix shit. Now I'm not gonna lie, when Mercedes first came on the screen, I didn't even know that was her because of the way that her hair is. I love her hair, like in that short little mohawk little ponytail. I couldn't even tell that was her. She looks amazing. But anyway, they was in there pretty much getting a dominatrix on with this little white boy, whatever. Shout out to people who do that. I can't believe y'all hoes get paid money to whoop these men's ass. It's a fun time. That's a fun time, okay? So we see Autumn or whatever, and she's dancing or whatever. You could tell Autumn is finally getting into her gig. She's starting to get it, and she looks into the back or whatever, and she sees Mercedes and Mississippi in the back or whatever. Diamond closes the door, and he's like, "You need to mind your fucking business and keep like focused. Don't worry about what they doing. Worry about what it is that you're doing, okay?" Because I'm not gonna lie, Autumn is giving me very like narc vibes. Like, she's giving me very undercover cop vibes. I know she's not, but that's the vibes that she's giving me. Why are you so worried about what the hell they doing? Anyway, so then it's Fantasy Friday, which I would love to go if this was like a real thing there, because they look like they was having a fun ass time. These hoes were doing a bicycle going each other. You got two girls on this pole over here, another girl on this pole in here, another girl pole in the middle. They was fucking it up. Shout out to that, like the what is that, athleticism? Yes, there we go. Of the dancers and the pole and the strippers, because couldn't be me, sis. Could not be me, which I looked amazing, okay? So we find out that the white guy that they had in that room, his name is Corbin. And Corbin is actually light-skinned, but he's white passing, which is pretty much what was brought up, like, between them two or whatever, like, between Mississippi and Uncle Clifford or whatever. This episode in particular, man, the undertones of, like, colorism was serious, and I peeped it all, okay? Especially when it came to Corbin. So then, you got Autumn or whatever. She's talking to Uncle Clifford or whatever, and she pretty much started coming for his neck, like being like, "Oh well, at the end of the day, like, I'm not a hoe, pretty much like the rest of these girls are. Like, I know what they do once they get into the back room and all this stuff like that." Like, really trying to comfort him, pretty much trying to make it seem like she's above what the other girls are doing. And Uncle Clifford had to get her right. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing, okay, baby girl? Worry about you. That's what it is. She said it's a brothel, and he took offense to that because he's like, "A brothel, girl? First of all, calm down. That's not what goes on here. And at the end of the day, you need to worry about yourself. Why are you so concerned about what the other girls is in the room doing? Are you doing it?" And like, you made up a good point. You would only know what was going on in the rooms if you was in one. So Autumn. Not to say that Autumn is this, but there are definitely a lot of strippers, trust me, I know, who swear up and down. Like, there's like a hierarchy within the dancing world. There's like literally a hierarchy of people who think that they're better than this person because they do this and they don't do that. Listen, it's all sex work. Excuse me, it's all sex work at the end of the day. And I'm not here to downplay nobody, but ain't nobody better than the next person because Autumn, what, that one time you didn't give it up? All right, whatever. So pretty much Uncle Clifford, the whole conversation between him and Autumn was that Uncle Clifford needs ID from her because she has yet to produce any ID at all. And so he pretty much was like, he called her Summer Eve. The names that he was calling people out throughout this, he called Autumn Summer Eve. He called Lil Murder Lil Nigga. He's just too fucking much a key, okay? So we switch over to Uncle Clifford, and I can't think of the other guy that'd be back there counting the money with him. But they're getting, selling the plates, selling whatever it is that they are to the Hispanics. I'm gonna call them that, okay? And he pretty much hands him over this thing, and he's like, "Well, we're not making enough money." Come to find out, Uncle Clifford owes $55 $55 whole big ones he owes, or they're gonna take his place and they're gonna shut it the fuck down. So at this point, he's kind of stressed out trying to figure out what it is that he's gonna do. So you see him, he goes to his car, and when he pulls opens his glove compartment, whatever, you see all these bills fall out of all these past due notices. So then, like a little thief in the night, little nigga, aka Little Murder, pops up in the back, scares the fuck out of him. And pretty much the conversation was just, Little Murder was pretty much like, look, I paid you this money so that you could play my song, and then you went up there and you didn't play it. And you can see like the flashbacks clearly. Everybody was a little bit confused on what happened between them two. I wasn't. I thought it was clear as day that something sexual happened between them, and while they're sitting in the car, you can see like him flashing back to whatever it is that they did. But anyway, he's just like, bro, I paid you this money, and nothing happened. And he was just being honest with him. At the end of the day, that shit doesn't slap. The beat might be alright, but the lyrics is fucking trash. It doesn't sound good. So what it is that you want from me? And so I guess what this relationship is gonna be, I guess Little Nigga, Little Murder, because I'm gonna be calling him Little Nigga now. I'm so sorry, that's gonna stick with me. Little Murder, he's, I guess, gonna be working with Uncle Clifford to try to get his rap career off the ground. And again, like I pointed out last week, I think I really love how they are intertwining the music aspect into the strip club, because as I said before, so many artists and songs get broke in the strip club. It's a fact. So shout out to them for keep putting this in there, okay? And I like this storyline. So then we see Mercedes running with her. Oh my gosh, Mercedes' ass is so fat, and it's just so. Her titties are. Her body is sickening, okay? So she's going for a run with her perfect ass pit. My perfect ass pit bull is in the room. And so, she gets to her house, and I think his name is Mac. He lives across the street, fine as hell, tattered as hell. Most importantly, chocolate. He's a chocolate guy. So fine. Now, mind you, he's on house arrest, but that's okay. He's so fine as hell. Break my back whenever it is that he feels like it. Just saying, okay? So they're talking or whatever, and they're flirting, and he's saying how he gonna come for her last dance. So then she gets a call or whatever. Oh, sorry, not a call. So we switch over to her mama, to Mercedes' mama at the church. And, she's on the phone, and she's leaving a message for Mercedes pretty much saying, girl, we need your tithes. Where's your tithes? Where's the money? Where's the money? Okay? So the pastor comes in or whatever, and he's like, oh, girl, you don't need to be up there singing because I can get you behind the pulpit. But the point of the matter is, where's your daughter with this 20%? Again, showing the trashness. Not in all churches, of course, but in this church in particular, and a lot of them, y'all really just be here for the money. And that's pretty much what that whole conversation was. Like, get your daughters to come in here and bring us the money like they've been doing, okay? And so he said, I think it sounded like he said daughters versus daughter. So it leads me to think, where's her sisters and what do they do? Just a thought. So yeah, he pretty much tried to bribe her with the pulpit. Lord help us all, okay? So then we got Autumn. She's on the phone, the payphone, and she's pretty much going through checking like the IDs that she, I guess, like maybe picked up on her way to see like who's alive and who isn't alive. That ghetto ass customer service. Oh my gosh, I love this show because of the details. The details are so perfect. That ghetto ass customer service person. Bitch, how many people did I work with like that in a call center? Too many. But it's like she's friendly, but she ghetto, but it's just enough. It was too much. But anyway, I think the last name that she said to me, I think that probably was her baby father or whoever the hell it is that she got into a fight with or whatever. And they said, she was like, nope, I don't think so. It don't say here that he's deceased, but ain't that a good thing, girl? No, girl, it ain't a good thing. Them niggas need to be dead, okay? So then we see, I put down Cop, but that's not his name. His name is Andre, okay? And I guess Andre really is doing something as far as this realtor thing is concerned. Because at first, I thought that man was lying. And even to this day, I still think that there's more to it other than just the realtor thing. But whatever, he's up on his computer, and he's looking, I guess whoever wants to buy it, they want to change. They want to knock down the strip club and change all of that into like a resort and hotels and all this other good stuff, okay? So you see that we switch over and we see Andre in the field or whatever, and you hear this white man, you see two white men in the back, and he's like, well, why don't you go ahead and pick it? I know damn well you did not just tell, I know in 2020 you did not tell a black man to pick cotton. How fucking dare you? But he was like, yeah, he's like, I mean, most people, they come, you might as well just go ahead and get something too. The racial undertones throughout this episode, and specifically between the two let's call them the Wright brothers. It was getting on my fucking nerves. It was giving me very MAGA, very Trump 2020 vibes, okay? And I wasn't here for it. But pretty much the whole conversation with them was the fact that they needed their third brother, which was their half brother, to sign off pretty much for them to get the money for them to be able to buy the plot of land to put the resort and everything on. And so the two white brothers kind of go back and forth about, oh, you know, this is why he gets on my nerves, and this is that and the third. So Andre jumps in and is like, look, if y'all want me, I can go and talk to the little nigga. It ain't a problem. And they're like, okay, cool, go talk to him. He be over there in the pink or whatever. So that's when we put two and two together that the white guy that we seen in the beginning, his name is Corbin, that is their brother. So, okay, so then we switch over and we see Mercedes. She's in front of this place, giving me very dancing doll vibes. Okay, she's pretty much explained to her team that the building behind her she had just purchased, and it was going to be a gym for them, and everybody was really excited. Like I said, gave me very dancing dolls vibes. Okay, shout out to Coach D. Okay, and then you see like this car go by, and they like start screaming at Mercedes, you know, because she was a stripper. And you know, you see one of the moms kind of like, I can't wait till we get this up, whatever. Shout out to Mercedes for getting that money up, to getting that paper. See, if I was a dancer, that's what I would be doing. I would be stacking my money so I can invest into businesses like this. Mercedes is a very smart woman, okay? So then we go over to the car wash because Uncle Clifford was like, we need to throw a car wash so that we can try to make up this money. And the guy and her partner was like, bruh, I don't think this shit's not gonna work. But you pretty much see, so the way we're seeing a car wash is pretty much like the Mississippi's, I guess it's like her Instagram or whatever, and you see her, you know, she's showing all the girls working and stuff like that. So then we got this black Cadillac Escalade whatever pull up, and you see the man hop out. Now the man that hops out is, okay, so let me tell you, the last thing I seen him in was the 100. He played John Harder Chancellor. He's a good actor, he's been on a lot of stuff, but he is the mayor. So he pretty much showed up, and he pretty much was just talking to Uncle Clifford like, look, Uncle Clifford wanted to know, like, why are you giving us such a hard time or whatever, but he was like, look, at the end of the day, I know all of the illegal shit y'all doing, so you gotta pretty much, like, if you want to keep your place, you gotta go within my rules. If you don't, I'll get you shut the fuck down. So he was like, all right, fine. So he was like, Mercedes, Autumn, come clean this truck. So they get in the truck and they're cleaning it. And this is why I said on the first episode that Mercedes was Autumn rival but mentory type of vibes, because clearly you could tell from the beginning Mercedes was a little bit looking at her sideways. But it also seemed to me like, even just throughout the first episode, that it seemed like he was going down the path of Mercedes she's gonna end up helping Autumn. I'm telling you, they're gonna end up being friends, and she's gonna end up helping her. And this whole scene in particular to me shows that. They're in the car, they're wiping everything down. So Mercedes gets out because she needed some more stuff for the leather. So then you see Autumn is sitting there, whatever, and she's kind of having like flashbacks. The flashbacks is kind of like her being in water, or it looked like the car was like underwater or something like that. But regardless, you see the suds going all around the car and stuff. And so she starts freaking the fuck out. She opens up the top window, she jumps out, and she's like having a whole full breakdown because that PTSD is a real thing, okay? So you see everybody kind of calm her down, and Mercedes drives her home. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Now, Mercedes, the whole time she's driving her home, you know, she's trying to make sure that she's good. When she gets to the place, she's like, all right, let me come upstairs, let me walk you upstairs. And Autumn's just not with it. She's like, damn, bitch, I'm trying to show you some stuff on hospitality. That's what it gives me. Like I said, I do think to a degree that Mercedes is probably a little bit jealous of Autumn, but at the same time, I could tell that they're probably going to get to a place where they're going to be friends, and she's probably going to end up helping her out a lot. But anyway, she gets up there, and Autumn's like, bitch, I don't want you to come in. She slams it on her face, okay? So that just gave Mercedes even more of a reason to come at her. So throughout the rest of the episode, every time she's seen Autumn, she was throwing little jabs, like, you know, about the fact that she ain't have no curtains, or bitch, you couldn't even ask me to come in, you know, little shit like that. Okay, so then we switch over. So then we see Autumn. She is now at a computer, and she types in the name Lakeisha Savage. Now, Lakeisha Savage is one of the IDs that she asked about, and I don't remember whether or not they said that she was dead or not. I can't remember, but regardless, you see her type in her name, and she's about to do a wire transfer, and it's for $9,000. So she wire transfers herself. Who the fuck is Lakeisha Savage? We will find the fuck out, okay? So we go back over to the pink, and Uncle Clifford is outside arguing with the cook because the cook quit or whatever because he wasn't getting paid the money that he needed. And, you know, shout out to Mercedes. I love the relationship between Uncle Clifford and Mercedes. They really have each other's back, because Uncle Clifford was like about to have a breakdown. Mercedes was like, rule 24.5, ain't no crying in the pink. And he was like, you know what? bitch, I'm pissed off right now, but you right, let's go make this money. I love it. That's my favorite thing that he says is let's go make this money, because at the end of the day, isn't that all that really matters, right? Let's go get to this paper, okay? So we see him because, like I said, because the cook quit, so now you see his partner and Uncle Clifford. They're in the back and they're making the chicken. Like I said, strip clubs, they got some of the best wings you'll ever find in your life. You'll ever find, okay? So they're in the back or whatever. So Little Murder comes in the back and he's like, well, he puts like, the AirPods in Uncle Clifford's ear for him to listen to the new song. And it does sound a little better. Like he said, the beat is better, but the lyrics are trash. So you still gotta work on it. So then Little Murder's like, well, man, look, y'all out here, like, y'all doing, like, y'all wings is trash, whatever, you talking about me. So he's like, this is what y'all could do, y'all need to put, y'all, use some CBD butter oil, to have people in here lit or whatever, which, just pretty much, people, that's amazing. You're gonna eat and you're gonna get even more high. That is a cycle that will never end. That's amazing, okay? I've always wanted to eat something like that. Somebody leave below, where can I find that type of butter or oil? Put a link in the bottom for me, okay? So yeah, so the Little Murder gets back there and he starts whipping up the chicken and stuff like that. So once he whips over the chicken, you see we go over to Andre, and he is now in the pink and he's talking to Corbin. Now Corbin is getting a lap dance, whatever. That nigga is weird. Like he's really, really weird, and he's really like freaked out for real. He's really freaked out. So they're pretty much talking about, the whole situation, and Corbin pretty much is saying at the end of the day, the reason why he's not going to do what it is that they want to do is because if his father would have never passed away, like all the way up until his father passed away, they didn't even really claim him, because I guess he is the father had an affair or had sex with the maid and produced Corbin. So you can see how that dynamic probably kind of works, you know what I mean? Slave time, not in slave time. This all kind of works kind of weird, right? So he's like, they never really accepted me in the first place. So now that y'all need something, now y'all want me to write y'all need my John Hancock, and y'all need my name, whatever, and y'all never really accepted me in the first place. So I got where Corbin was coming from. But then he tried to flip it and be like, oh, well, you want to know what? If I can lease the land, then that's cool. And I'll put you deep in it on or whatever, talking to Andre. And Andre was kind of like, nah, like, you got me fucked up. Like, I don't want to do that. And Corbin kept trying to use the, oh, brother. And I'm going to be honest. It felt like when Corbin was talking that he is one of those people who try to overcompensate for his blackness because he can pass for white. I think he's really one of those people who he overcompensates. So he tries to talk a certain way, and he tries to make his voice a certain way, and his accent a certain way, and say brother, and we gotta stick together. Like, I think he's really one of those. And what Andre said is facts. All skin folk and kinfolk. And if nothing we have learned throughout 2020, we have learned that all skin folk and kinfolk. And that's a fucking fact, okay? Now, during this whole talk, Autumn is at the bar and she's talking to the girl, and the girl's like, all right, bitch, let me give you the pop quiz. Who is it that you need to go talk to? Who you need to go see? And I guess, she notices Andre, whatever. So she goes over there because she's like, the fuck is you doing here? So she goes over there, whatever. And, Corbin is like, fine, I'll let him, how y'all know each other. Like, I thought you said you never been here talking to Andre. He's like, no, we met, a different way. So she starts dancing or whatever. And you can tell the whole time they're having a conversation, his eyes, like, their eyes is pretty much fixed, locked in on each other, right? So as they're talking, you can hear, like, you can see Autumn is listening. I mean, she ain't dumb. She's listening and she's kind of picking up to what's being said because Corbin's daddy was worth like millions. So if I'm her, bitch, I'm listening too, okay? So, sorry, we'll get there. So then, after the whole conversation between Andre and Corbin is like, look, that's what it is. I want to lease the land. If you don't want to do that, it is what it is. But here, go to the champagne room with Shorty. It's on me. So they go over to the champagne room. Pause for the cause. Let me tell you something. Whoever's picking the music, give that person a raise, because the soundtrack throughout this whole series so far is top notch. Everything makes sense, bitch. Y'all played Sativa during this. They played Sativa during this, bitch. That is my shit. And then eventually when they was twerking, they played I'm a young ass, rich ass bitch from the South. Come on, mulatto. music is on point. So whoever's doing that, so I was more so entranced by the music. I just thought the music selection was amazing. But yeah, so Autumn is in there. You know, she's dancing for Andre in the champagne room, wherever the case may be. So they're talking and whatnot, and so she comes closer to him and she sees like the scar I guess she had from his C-section, and then he shows her a scar that he had that was like going straight down like his chest, and he said it was because he was born with like his heart outside of his chest or whatever. So, you know, he tells her to sit down, like maybe a little bit further away, probably because he didn't want his dick to get too hard. And so Autumn, you know, is just talking to him like, look, nigga, you try to come up here, pretty much like calling him out on his bullshit. You're trying to act like you don't want me, but it's clear that you want me. And at the end of the day, let me just tell you this. You're dumb as fuck for not taking that money, but if you do want to take that money, I know how to clean that money. So I said, I know that's right, sis. Okay? Now, sorry, pause. Before that, I'm sorry, let's go back to the whole thing when Corbin and Andre was in the room together, because this part is important. Okay, Autumn went in there by herself first, right? Then Mercedes seen that she was over there, so she took her ass over there too. Now, you know, she, you know, is doing what it is that she got to do, being all up on Andre, like, come on, like, what is it that you want? And she said, so what you drinking? You drinking some dark liquor, or you drinking the white today? I said, oh, and he said, I'm gonna drink the white tonight. And she, what did she say? Hold on, because I definitely wrote it down. She said, bitch, don't open you. So you don't like the melanin Morel? I said, yes, ma'am. Okay. And this clearly is going to be a point of contention. You know, Mercedes being a little bit darker. Mercedes is probably like about my color, maybe a little bit darker. And, you know, Autumn being light. And this does happen all the time. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Light-skinned women get picked all the time over brown-skinned or dark-skinned women. To me, that's just a that, or if not, that's her, simply because they're not as light-skinned. In my opinion, I do think that Autumn is a very pretty girl. But in all reality, if we're talking about body, like why you come to a strip club, I don't understand why you want what Mercedes. Mercedes got, she's bad as fuck, okay? But anyway, so yeah, so that's that. So yeah, so then after Autumn leaves the champagne room and stuff like that with Andre, she goes into the back. You know, everybody's giving Uncle Clifford their pieces of money and whatever. And so this is the second time I noticed this. Autumn came back there and showed her ass. Now, granted, I understand you don't get along with all of the girls and stuff like that, but Uncle Clifford made a good point, because she came back there and she pretty much showed her ass in front of Mercedes, and she was trying to get loud, pretty much saying like, bitch, you're mad because at the end of the day, at least I made this and I didn't have to like pretty much like hold myself out. And Mercedes like, bitch, you don't know what the fuck it is that I do behind doors. Like, you don't know what the fuck it is that I do, so you need to mind your fucking business, because you don't even know. Mercedes would have knocked, she would have dragged Autumn all up and down that place. It wouldn't have been nothing. But when they left or whatever, Uncle Clifford made a good point. You can't be showing out in front of these girls like that. Like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen to you? You going to get your ass jumped, or worse, if you keep showing your ass. Just make your money and go the fuck home. Ain't no point in you trying to be all extra for what, okay? And at least, like, Mercedes does do it, but she does it in a way, like, to where at least all the other girls, like, respect her and, you know, all this other stuff, or whatever. So Uncle Clifford or whatever asks Autumn for her ID, because he was like, bitch, I need your ID. So she gives her the Lakeisha ID, and he was like, oh, okay. So you're a Scorpio, you know, so like your birthday's coming up, like what kind of you know, what cake you want? And she was like, chocolate. He was like, chocolate? And she said, yeah, chocolate. And he was like, I find that hard to believe. She's like, why? Because bitch, just say that your birthday is in May. I think it was like either May or March. He was like, look, get this shit the fuck out my face, whatever the case may be. So she brings up, you know, pretty much about how she got that extra money, because it was she got like a stack off of that. So she pretty much was saying, look, at least, you know, I got this because, you know, he was running his mouth about, you know about the resort that they're putting here, because she was saying it pretty much like Uncle Clifford already knew that there was going to be a resort here. So he's listening to her, and he's just like, oh, really? So pretty much what he gets down to is he's like this, look, bitch, you're going to go and you're going to get more information for me about what it is that they're doing and how it is that they're doing it. If you don't, bitch, I have your fake ID. I will turn your ass to fucking. She was mad, but it is what it is. It's the fucking game. So he said, go get my tea. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. So then we have, oh, also before that, there was like a quick little scene where Mercedes and Uncle Clifford was talking, and she knew how much money it is that he needed. She just wanted to hear it herself, but she was like, ooh, bitch, I don't know how you gonna get out of this. But anyway, so then we get over to Mercedes. So Mercedes gets home. And when she gets there, her mama is sitting outside on the porch like, oh, girl, I called you, blah, 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 blah. So Mercedes like, look, that little 20,000 that I gave y'all so y'all could put down so it could look like y'all had the money for the loan. Because I know if y'all probably know, you know, a lot of times with loans, you need at least 15 to 20% down. I think the pastor said they needed at least 20% down. But she's like, look, I gave y'all the 20K so it could look like there was 20K in y'all account so y'all could get this loan. I need my money back, and I need all 20K back. And I'm pretty sure the reason she needs that is because she's probably going to try to help Uncle Clifford and probably give him that. So the mama got an attitude. She's like, all right, okay, that's fine. So then, bitch, let me tell you, bitch. So we go over to Andre, because we have it. So we go over to Andre, okay? And Andre's on the phone with his girlfriend, mind you, okay? So he gets another call or whatever. He's like, hold on, babe. It's Autumn calling. So he gets back on the other line and tells his girlfriend, or somebody else was calling him, and he called her back later, blah, blah, blah. He gets off the phone. So, you know, he's talking to Autumn, bitch, fuck everything else. Man, listen. Whoever wrote and directed this scene, they get on the phone. Pretty much, they had nice little phone sex. Bitch, let me tell you. Let me adjust myself, bitch. I know key climaxed at the end, dude. That's how good it was. That's how good it was. I was like, bitch. And then he, and then she, and then he, and then she, and then she was giving it, she was petting it on everything. And he ain't no, this nigga couldn't get out of his drawers. That's enough. Also, what is this man's name? But, 8-inch width, nigga, that's my type. I don't know, that's my type, nigga, that's my type. Come on, that's my type. Okay, all right. Shout out to Andre, okay? But yeah, so they pretty much have phone sex, and pretty much what that means to me is that's line, hook, sinker. She has his ass. It's a wrap now. It's a whole wrap. She got that nigga in her webs, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much. I believe that's how the episode ended. I believe. Sorry, y'all, with my mic. I believe it. Yep, Peen is huge. Yep, that's what I got on here. Yep, Peen is huge. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much how it ended. So y'all get in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. My dog is here, y'all. I'm out, y'all. Bye.